Pero wande alaba mo. Poten ko habe de hapolin. Kunun ba wurtin hodda tumen.
Hello and welcome to our weekly film show. Well, the 80th Golden Globe Awards have just been handed out, and to tell us more about the choices of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, critic Lisa Nesselson is in the studio with us. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Libby.
Now first, tell us about some of the big winners of the night.
Well, I'd like to start by saying that one of the things the Golden Globes get right is that they divide Best Everything into two categories: Best Musical or Comedy and Best Drama. And that's why we can have two stupendous actresses each get a Best Actress award. I'm speaking about Malaysian martial arts expert and wonderful actress Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Cate Blanchett, her third Best Actress Golden Globe, for her amazing performance as the symphony conductor Tar. Now, the Banshees of Inisherin had 8 nominations. It converted that into 3 wins, pretty substantial ones. That would be Best Comedy, Best Screenplay, and Best Actor in a drama for Colin Farrell. I would have done it the other way around. Best Actor in a Drama is Austin Butler for his amazing incarnation of Elvis Presley in Elvis. And the TV element, you'll just have, because they also do awards to TV, you'll have to look that up for yourself, because this is the cinema show.
Okay. Well, we do know that the film industry loves to celebrate the film industry. And one of the winners this year is someone who, after decades of making sci-fi, adventure films, historical dramas, and everything in between, has finally made an autobiography of sorts. That's Steven Spielberg, of course. He won Best Director for The Fabelmans, which also won Best Drama. Here's more from him.
The Fabelmans is an act of forgiveness. It is how I was able to forgive, and I think how my parents were able to forgive each other. And so at the core of this really is, wanting to be able to have a conversation with my past.
Lights change how everything looks. It's hard to find our house.
Ours is the dark house with no lights.
In this family, it's the scientists versus the artists. Sammy's on my team, takes after me.
Now, Steven Spielberg already has 2 Globes at home, one for Schindler's List and one for Saving Private Ryan. I haven't seen this yet. It's out next month here in France, and I'm very much looking forward to those 2 other movies, of course, took place in Europe. This, I'm expecting an all-American story about the childhood roots of a film fanatic, a middle-class Jewish boy who grew up to be a planetary directing phenomenon.
I'm certainly looking forward to it myself. Now, this year, the Golden Globes were back on American network TV after a forced hiatus last year. What was that about?
The Hollywood Foreign Press Association got a lot of unwanted attention for not having any black members. Voting members also got called out for accepting junket perks, and they've been scrambling to clean up their act. And so they now boast 96 members, 6 of whom are black. And I would like to point out that their philanthropic activities have always been glorious. They've given away over $50 million to small arts organizations, including in France, to restore movies and to spread the love of film.
Okay, well, we're moving to new releases now with a French film, Father and Soldier, produced by and co-starring Omar Sy. Now, this takes us to World War I, when France forcibly drafted over 130,000 soldiers from the colonies, in this case, Senegal. Let's take a look at the film.
Le corporel.
Africains du Haut-Niger, du Sénégal, de la Guinée, du Soudan. Vous allez contribuer à cette éclatante victoire.
Koy guerre gonden baba? Guerre?
Après cette bataille, vous ne serez plus des indigènes, vous serez des Français.
En position!
So, Lisa, tell us a bit about the story here.
Well, 17-year-old Tierno is yanked from his rural village, and so his father, Bakary, deliberately enlists to try and protect his son and get them both back home. The two men do not let on that they're related. These so-called tirailleurs, that would translate as riflemen or shooters, and that's the French title of the film, didn't share a language with their white commanding officers, were unaccustomed to the climate, that's an understatement, and were in danger in completely hostile territory, training sort of for the nightmare of the trenches. It's a powerful topic, completely grounded in history. Now, the father is played by Omar Sy, who mostly speaks Fula with his son, with a smattering of Wolof with other West Africans also enrolled in the army by force. And the director, former cinematographer Mathieu Vadepied, did his homework. He's wanted to make this film since 1998, when the last of the Senegalese soldiers who had fought in World War I died. Now, the script has one excellent idea, which is that the son displays such bravery against the Germans that he's promoted to corporal, which means that he's in charge of a group of soldiers, including his own father. And Bakary is busy doing his best to line up a way to get smuggled out of France, while his son increasingly embraces the possibilities of rising through the ranks.
Okay, well, let's hear from Omar Sy at a screening of the film in Dakar, Senegal. He's talking about why it was so important to tell this story.
Today's generation needs this story for our collective memory, to work out where our narrative fits in terms of these two countries, as we have a foot in each world and culture.
Now, Omar Sy's been in the papers here in France over comments he made about race. What's all that about?
Well, Omar Sy got in hot water with French right-wingers when he made the observation that French media tend to be way more interested in wars, in conflicts involving white people, say the Russian invasion of Ukraine, than they are in wars devastating countries in Africa. And since Sy lives in the United States, they taunted him as being some sort of pampered starlet instead of a French citizen expressing his opinion.
Never one to shy away from controversial topics there. Now, next to an Italian film, Nostalgia. This screened in competition at the last Cannes Film Festival. It's the story of a man who returns to his hometown of Naples after 40 years abroad. Tell us more.
Well, we meet Felice, who's been away for so long that his Italian is a bit rusty. He walks the streets of the Sanita Quarter, a Naples neighborhood that apparently hasn't changed that much, but the way Felice sees it has changed quite a bit. His childhood best friend, Oreste, is now the fearsome head of the local mafia. He and Felice were inseparable until a still unspoken secret forced their paths to converge. Felice confesses that secret to a local activist priest who despises Oreste. Probably not the smartest move.
Okay, well, let's take a look at Nostalgia and hear from the lead actor, Pierfrancesco Favino, at Cannes.
Tu sei figlia a me. Vedi di stare attento.
I've always envisioned this movie as the journey of a soul more than a man. We all are coming back to something. We all are escaping from something. We all want to get back to our inner self. And you can't do that without washing your sins, blessing your roots.
Well, apart from looking like a Caravaggio painting, what is so special about this film?
Oh, the atmosphere and the acting, a feeling of mostly justified paranoia in the labyrinth-like streets. Felice's mother is dying, and he cares for her with a genuine tenderness. Felice seeks out his long-ago friend. Will they connect? The tension is, as they say, palpable. Director Mario Martone wrote the script with his wife in Rome during lockdown. The couple are both from Naples, and the film was shot in the real enclave of Sanita, and we feel as if we're in the unsettling streets with the protagonist.
It's certainly very evocative. Now, to another Italian director, Pietro Marcello, whose film Scarlet takes us to the aftermath of combat here in France. Tell us a bit about this one.
Well, the director's previous film was a startling, award-winning version of Jack London's Martin Eden. Here, working in French, he's crafted a sometimes bucolic and sometimes harsh ode to soldiering on as a civilian after the horrors of the First World War. Scarlet captures the simple pleasures and the simmering resentments of life in a poor rural village in France from the late teens into the 1930s. Now, the film starts with gruff Raphael trudging back from the trenches. He eventually shows up at the farm door of Madame Adeline, who is marvelously earthy and kind. She introduces Raphael to his infant daughter, Juliette. Raphael's wife died not long after the baby's birth, but it turns out not for the reasons one might think. At the heart of the tale is the relationship between the girl as she grows up and her father. Raphael never says much, but he's a decent man, and he has no idea why he gets stared at unkindly as he tries to settle in and as the years go by. As depicted here, it's hard to beat the hostile French peasants when it comes to staring. There's a prophecy involving the title color as Juliet develops her gift for singing.
Okay, sounds very intriguing. Lisa, thank you very much for that roundup this week. We'll leave you with a glimpse of Scarlet. Do remember you can get more movie news on our website and our social media channels. There's more news coming up on France 24 just after this.
Vous êtes un aventurier?
Non, je gagne ma vie.
Je suis complètement folle.
T'es pas folle.
C'est l'amour qui est fou.
Mais elle habite par ici?
Elle chante tout le temps.
Bonjour. Je me suis renseigné à ton sujet au village. T'as une réputation bizarre.
Pourquoi tu t'en vas? Retourne d'où tu viens.